What's up, sports fans? I'm Dr. Steve D'Elia, and welcome to the Youth1 Laboratory for our first experimental episode of Play Like a Pro, where we take some of the country's most talented youth stars, throw their skills into our one-of-a-kind comparison generator, and see what professional athlete their game most closely represents. Today, we're analyzing the most promising football players evaluated by our staff. These machines, the blinking lights, beakers, and contraptions that you see all around us are all important elements, carefully incremented and calibrated to give you the best comparison for youth and professional athletes. Most analysts say that scouting is not an exact science, but in this laboratory, it certainly is. And in accordance with the American Council of Sports Laboratory Standards and Safety, here is our incident report for the use of the machine this week. Paper cuts, 53. Chemicals in the eyes, 11. Explosions, 2. Toxic liquid ingestion, 27. Personnel DNA mixed with the DNA of a blue jay that flew in the window during testing, 1. And noxious fume inhalation, infinity. But enough explaining, let's get to the sciencing. I'll introduce an athlete for you. Our machine operator, Kevin, will fire it up and we'll see who plays like who. Let's take a look at our first football player. Jaymes Williams. Jaymes is the versatile offensive star of Football University national champion Team Georgia. He played quarterback, he can run out of the backfield, and he will likely be playing some wide receiver next year. He's got blistering speed and quickness and great presence of mind on the field. Let's put him into the machine and see whose game he most closely resembles. Kevin, activate the machine, please. It's a little loud. It's loud. Tavon Austin. The machine saw the right level of similarities in their speed, agility, and versatility. Tavon was a standout running back wide receiver convert at West Virginia, and he was drafted 8th overall by the St. Louis Rams in this year's NFL draft. He's got the football fanatics in St. Louis eagerly awaiting his debut. Now, both of these guys play a handful of positions. Williams has great on-the-field awareness, which is one of Austin's strengths as well. Both of them have the ability to make a big play and have very high reliability at this time. Now that you see how the machine works, let's go to the next player. We're taking a look at Ray-Al Mitchell, the soon-to-be 8th grade quarterback for the Inland Empire Ducks down in sunny SoCal. Ray-Al's got a strong arm, good footwork in the pocket, and the ability to run either to extend the play or score. He's an average-sized guy that plays with brains and heart. Let's throw that style into the machine and see what our verdict is. Kevin, fire it up, please. Okay, you'll get used to it. Russell Wilson, the University of Wisconsin graduate and starting quarterback for the upstart Seattle Seahawks. The evaluation machine really looked at the game film and saw a lot of similarities in the way Seattle runs the read option with Wilson to how the Ducks ran it on some of their most successful plays and drives last year. Neither Wilson or Mitchell are the tallest guys at their position, but their great vision, elusiveness, and big arms give them both huge potential for the future. Let's see who our next football player is, shall we? We're taking a look at Jaylen Nelson. This guy can really do it all. He plays quarterback, running back, and he's a force on defense as well down in the Dallas area of Texas. On any given play, you can see him throwing the deep ball, beating linebackers to the corner, hurdling quarterbacks, or mushing the opposing player with a stiff arm. Nelson is a 2-time East Bay Youth All-American and 3-time national champion. But what pro does he compare to? That's why we're here. Let's fire it up and see. Kevin, hit it, please. Kordell Stewart, a quarterback himself. Kordell was known by his nickname Slash during his playing days when he was a quarterback, running back, punter, and receiver. Both of these guys can run, they got big arms, and they made big plays at important moments in pivotal games. As far as skills go, there aren't too many guys who define pure athleticism as Stewart, but with his ability to play all over the field and his prowess as a 4-sport athlete these days, Nelson seems to be playing the part of Slash 2.0. Very cool. Next up, let's see who we're putting our scientific analysis on. It's the backfield skills of Alonzo Booth from Winchester, Ohio. Booth was an 8th grader last year who ran over defenders and pummeled opposing offenses. He's 6 feet tall, 230 pounds, and absolutely dominates on both sides of the ball. He can run a 4.8 40, bench press 220, and squats 450 pounds. Our team saw him last year at the Top Gun football camp, and he would have been a 2-time entry into the East Bay All-American game if not for Ohio's amateur athletic rules. Let's see who our evaluation machine compares him to. Christian Okoye, or as he was better known, the Nigerian Nightmare. Christian Okoye embodied everything that a power back like Booth hopes to be. They're both strong, tough, and fearless who can sometimes surprise you with their speed in the pads. Okoye led the NFL in rushing yards in 1989, and since Steve Atwater doesn't play middle or high school football, it will be some time before we see somebody put Alonzo Booth in his place. Booth might end up playing linebacker exclusively in the future, but out of the backfield, we'll call him the Winchesterian Nightmare. And finally, we're taking a look at Corleone Bailey from Elkhorn Middle School in Kentucky. Bailey scored 27 total touchdowns last year as a speedy wide receiver who can stretch the field. He's a great team player, and whether he's scoring or running defensive backs out of the play, he's always looking to help his team win. Let's see who he compares to. It's Jaylen Nelson. The Green Bay Packers wide receiver had a breakout year in 2011, racking up 15 touchdowns and averaging almost 19 yards per catch. Both Jordy and Bailey have the speed to get past any secondary. Now that you see how it all works, we hope that you'll join us again when we break down some of youth sports' most exceptional athletes and see who they stack up with at the pro level on Play Like a Pro. Our machine is calibrated for all sports, so send in your game field and make submissions of your own, and maybe you or someone you know will get on the show. Everybody, until next time, thanks for watching. All right, let's get those gas masks back on. It is not safe in here. My throat is burning.